A man with nothing to lose is one of the most powerful forces on earth, because, when life has stripped you down to the bone, when you have lost the things you once thought you couldn't live without, when you have watched people walk away, betray you, underestimate you, judge you, replace you, forget you, something inside you changes forever. You stop living for people. You stop begging to be understood. You stop fearing failure. You stop worrying about who approves of you. You stop shrinking yourself to fit someone else's idea of acceptable. You stop chasing after the temporary people who were never meant to stay. When you lose everything you once depended on, you realize that your greatest strength was never in what you had, it was always in what you are capable of becoming. A man with nothing to lose becomes dangerous, not because he seeks harm, but because he becomes free. Free from opinions, free from validation, free from the weight of expectations, free from the fear that controls most of the world. He becomes unstoppable because he has finally learned the truth, that everything he needs is already inside him. When you hit rock bottom, you don't die, you rise. You become hardened, sharpened, unshakable. You start making decisions not from fear, but from clarity. You no longer tolerate disrespect. You no longer allow people to waste your time. You no longer let anyone manipulate your energy. You become disciplined, focused, silent, intentional. You start building your life brick by brick, day by day, without needing applause, without needing to broadcast your progress. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, because you've already survived the worst. What can anyone do to a man who has already lost everything and still stood back up? Nothing. And that is why such a man becomes powerful beyond measure. The world fears a man who isn't afraid to walk alone. The world respects a man who creates his own path. The world cannot stop a man who refuses to stop. When you have nothing to lose, you start taking risks you once avoided. You start speaking truths you once silenced. You start chasing dreams you once doubted. You start choosing yourself over everyone who once overlooked you. And the irony is this: the moment you stop needing anyone, the right people start appearing. The moment you stop begging for love, real love finds you. The moment you stop fearing failure, success starts chasing you. The moment you stop attaching your worth to people, you rise above them. Sometimes life breaks you, so it can rebuild you stronger. Sometimes God removes everything so you can see what was holding you back. Sometimes becoming a man with nothing to lose is the path that reveals everything you were meant to gain. Because when you lose the unnecessary, you make room for the extraordinary. When you lose the people who never truly cared, you make space for the people who will. When you lose the comfort that kept you weak, you find the challenges that make you powerful. When you lose the illusions you depended on, you gain the truth that sets you free. And that truth changes you forever. You stop begging. You stop explaining. You stop chasing. You stop settling. You start focusing on your peace, your goals, your discipline, your growth, your purpose. You start becoming the man you were always meant to be before the world taught you to doubt yourself. And here's the part no one tells you. When you become a man with nothing to lose, the world can no longer control you. You become unpredictable, not in chaos, but in strength. You choose your battles wisely. You walk away easily. You stay silent when others expect a reaction. You take action when others think you'll stay down. You build in private. You heal in silence. You move differently because pain taught you to value yourself. Betrayal taught you to trust yourself. Loss taught you to rely on yourself. Hardship taught you to push yourself. And the new version of you, disciplined, alert, self-respecting, independent, is someone even you didn't expect to become. You're no longer the same person who was afraid to disappoint others. You're no longer the person who tolerated half love, half effort, half respect. You're no longer the person who stayed quiet just to keep the peace. You're no longer the person who needed someone to choose you. You have evolved. You have outgrown your old self. And now, life can no longer break you the way it did before, because you have already survived the storm that was meant to destroy you. You have already conquered the fears that once controlled you, and now, every step you take is backed by a fire that came from pain, a discipline that came from loss, and a strength that came from surviving things others don't even know about. A man with nothing to lose becomes the man who gains the world, not by entitlement but by endurance. He becomes the man who inspires others, not by speaking but by doing. He becomes the man people watch quietly, because his rise feels inevitable. He becomes the man people regret losing, because they never realized the value of someone who could rise this high after losing everything. And if you are in that season of your life where it feels like everything has fallen apart, where people have walked away, where you feel alone, unseen, unsupported, don't fear it. Don't hate it, don't run from it. Because this is where you are being reborn. This is where the new version of you is being formed. This is where your real strength is being built. You are becoming the man with nothing to lose, and soon you will become the man who has everything to win. Keep going. Your story is not over. This is just the part where you become unstoppable.